Hey guys, John, welcome back to Catbird Hill. So I thought I'd do a little bit of a different video today. It's been really nasty weather here in southeastern Pennsylvania for the last maybe 3 weeks. We've been getting about 6 inches of snow every week, and then intermixed with sleet, freezing rain. Things have been iced over, so I've really had little to no opportunity to do anything outside. In fact, finishing up the last two videos where I was building that fuel shed, one of the things I wanted to show you was where I was going to place the shed and how everything would fit in there. I haven't even been able to do that. Everything is just totally iced over. It's a mess. So I've got to wait for things to thaw out before we put the cap on that little project. What I'm going to do today is a little chainsaw repair job that might be kind of interesting for those of you who have this particular chainsaw, or maybe you're familiar with some of the issues with it. But we'll do a little chainsaw video, repair video, and then maybe just a quick tour of the outside to show you what we're dealing with the weather here. So we're going to reposition the camera so I can show you what we've got. All right. Hopefully that's a good view for you guys. So this is a Husqvarna 288 XP chainsaw that I got from a friend of mine who actually ported it for me. So this was kind of a fun chainsaw. This was a special edition chainsaw from Husqvarna, a 300-year anniversary of the company. They actually have a little label here. So this was kind of a neat little collectible saw that I wanted to have. I know you're probably thinking I'm wearing a steel baseball cap, I'm working on a Husqvarna chainsaw, but if later on other videos I'm going to show you some of the other saws that I have. I pretty much have every brand. I'm not particular to one or the other. But this particular chainsaw is legendary for those people who really follow Husqvarna. This has had a phenomenal reputation. Beast of a saw. It's used to cut heavy timber. You know, obviously, because of its size, can handle a really long bar, easily a 36-inch bar on this saw. It's in really good shape. You know, a lot of these saws, because they were used in the timber industry or tree service industry, tend to get beat up, you know, by the time you find them used. But I want to show you something here that is going to be the subject of today's repair. So, on the front of this saw and other saws, a lot of times these larger saws have this spring, which some guys call an extra mount or a fifth mount. And the word mount is associated with anti-vibration mounting. So at various locations around the saw, there are different parts of the saw that have rubber, you know, look like little thimbles, rubber thimbles that are connectors between different parts of the saw, that because the saw is so strong and it creates a lot of vibration, these rubbery things, in fact, this is what a lot of them look like. These rubber structures act to absorb some of the vibration and dampen it, just so that it's a lot easier on the operator. Well, because these saws are so big and they generate a lot of torque and vibration, a lot of the manufacturers put this spring on here to absorb side-to-side vibration, and the bottom, this side of the spring is actually attached to the solid frame of the saw. So this is rock solid here. But I'm gonna move the frame of the saw back and forth, the crankcase back and forth, and you see that vibration. So the reason that's happening is when I got the saw, there was no connection between the crankcase here and this fifth mount, this anti-vibration spring mount. So I have a couple of friends that I buy a lot of parts from when I'm rebuilding these old saws or repairing them. And I am by no means a saw mechanic, trust me. This is just something I do as a hobby. I typically don't get into huge work like porting or, you know, tearing a saw all the way down to nothing and then rebuilding it. But little things like this I enjoy doing. So I got some extra parts from him, and we're gonna reattach the crankcase to this extra spring mount here today. The other thing you might notice is this is something else I need to replace. This was the chain catch. There's normally a little aluminum tab that comes out of here that if the chain, if you were ever to throw a chain off the bar for any reason, this would typically catch the chain to prevent it from coming back and whipping and hurting you. And a lot of times in these older saws, these things are broken off. The metal is aluminum, it's soft, so it doesn't last a long time. And we probably, while I'm here, ought to just take that out. And I'm going to set that aside as a reminder that I do need to replace that. You know, that's going to be a little more work, I think, than what I want to get into now. That might actually be stripped in there. I might have to work a little harder on getting that out. But let's get back to the main reason for the video here, which is to repair this mount. So the inner dog plate actually serves as the attachment, indirectly connecting the crankcase to that mount. So what I need to do is get the dog in position and line the holes up, and then the screw that goes into that rubber mount, there's actually a rubber grommet structure inside of this spring, and it takes a pretty coarsely threaded bolt. And then these are the bolts that hold the dog to the case. This is going to be a little bit awkward because you have to, because there's so much side-to-side play in here, you have to hold. I'm actually pressuring the left side of the crankcase into toward the right here, toward the camera. And you know, I do have a cordless impact driver, which I probably should be using, but I've had some mishaps with that over the years doing this kind of work. I find sometimes that I'm not real skilled at stopping it just short of the point where I want to hand tighten, and I've stripped bolts and stuff, so I've gotten a little shy about using that. I'm sure I could concentrate a little bit better and do a better job of it. Just going to loosely connect things for now. Okay. So now, if you notice, I'm going to hold on to the wrap handle here, and I'm going to try to move that crankcase back and forth, and you can see it's a lot stiffer now. So that's really, you know, when I'm operating the saw, there really shouldn't be a whole lot of side-to-side movement. Let's just tighten everything up a little bit more. I don't use any kind of a device to measure torque here, like a torque wrench. It's just, I guess, a matter of feel. Right or wrong, that's how I do it. Haven't lost a bolt yet when I'm operating a saw, so. Okay, so that's now back together. The other thing that I wanted to show you is the clutch cover for this saw. The outer part of the clutch cover is actually the mounting for the outer spike, the outer dog. But, sorry, my hands are freezing cold. It's only about 25 degrees in the barn here. But this little set screw is held in place in the back of the clutch cover in the slot by a nut. So I'm just going to take my finger and hold that nut, because it'll slide if you don't hold it. Finish backing this out. Get our dog in position there. Let's see if I can do this. Trying to hold that nut in the back. See if I'm able to do it. I swear my fingers worked better 15 years ago. think we're good. Okay. Just make sure that everything's lined up good here. Yeah, looks good. Like I said, I still have other work to do on this thing. Get that chain catch bolt out. I know some guys don't sweat it if the chain catch isn't there, but you know, I'm not a professional operator of these saws. I've had a lot of experience running a chainsaw, but I'm by no means a professional, and I think every safety advantage I could have, I'll take. Alright. Yeah, it's good. So now, you know, this is nice and solid. There is no lateral movement at all. Like there was before. Obviously everything was detached, but you know, like I said, when I got the saw, it was missing that mount, and I wanted to get it at least tapped back to this point where I could run it. I haven't even fired this thing up since I got it. I just got it a few months ago, and I was just too busy with other things. Really cool looking saw, I think. I love the full wrap handle. I know a lot of guys who do falling of trees like that because they can operate the saw easily from either, you know, in this position or in this position, depending on how they're approaching the tree. You know, with a standard wrap chainsaw, there's no extra handle here, so it's kind of awkward, and guys tend to always try to do it from one side of the tree, which doesn't always work out to be the best option. So anyhow, just a real quick video on making that little repair. So if you ever get an old saw, I don't really see these on newer models anymore, but if you get an old saw like this and you have this fifth mount or extra mount, just make sure that it is securely attached to the crankcase, usually through the falling spike here, at least in these Husqvarnas. So that's it for that repair. Nothing super fancy, kind of the way I like it. We'll do just a quick tour around outside here. And you can still see we got snow on the ground. I think I shot this view maybe 3 weeks ago in one of the other videos, and it really hasn't changed much, folks. Although it is a beautiful, beautiful day. It's about probably 4 o'clock here in the afternoon, and as you know, the days are getting a little bit longer now, and the sun is still just. I just catch a little bit of sun there. But, a month ago it was pitch dark right now. So I'm really loving the fact that we're just getting longer and longer days. So we've got a lot of other ideas and projects to work on for videos. I appreciate the comments that everybody's been leaving. That means a lot to me that you're starting to watch the videos and maybe get into them a little bit more. I think we're up to 30 plus subscribers, which, I've had absolutely no expectations for this channel. This is just something fun that I've wanted to do for a while, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it. I know I've got a lot of road ahead of me. I'm not a professional videographer. I'm learning each video, little bits and pieces that probably could be done in a better way. I appreciate your patience hanging in there with us. But please leave comments. Give us ideas of other things you'd like to see us do here on Catbird Hill. Thanks again for watching. If you like the videos, please give us a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Click the bell icon to get the notifications. Please share the videos with friends of yours who might enjoy the same content. All right, everybody, hang in there, and we'll see you next time here at Catbird Hill.